15 oddly useful Amish soil tricks that outgrow compost for the soil science garden. If you've been gardening for a while, you already know compost is the gold standard for building healthy soil. But what if I told you there are traditional methods that go beyond compost? Techniques that quietly build fertility, improve structure, boost microbial life, and keep soil productive year after year. Today, we're stepping into the practical, no-waste wisdom of traditional Amish-style soil care. These methods come from a culture that farms without shortcuts, relying on observation, recycling, and long-term thinking. And here's the exciting part for us gardeners. Many of these techniques are simple, low-cost, and incredibly effective in modern gardens. In this guide, I'll walk you through 15 oddly useful soil tricks that don't replace compost, but actually outperform it in specific ways. Whether you're growing vegetables in Nairobi, managing raised beds, or tending a backyard plot, these ideas will help you build richer, more resilient soil. All right, let's dig in. The soil rest rotation method. Yeah, that's what we're talking about next. One of the most powerful practices is intentionally not planting a bed for part of the season. Instead of pushing productivity non-stop, the soil is allowed to recover with a thick organic mulch. When a bed rests under straw, leaves, or grass, microbial populations rebuild, earthworms multiply, and organic matter stabilizes instead of being rapidly consumed by crops. After one resting cycle, gardeners often notice stronger growth than after heavy compost applications. If your soil feels tired or yields are declining, try resting one bed each season and rotate the rest period around your garden. Deep straw mulching for soil structure. Straw isn't just surface protection, it's a slow soil builder. Thick layers, about 10 to 15 centimeters, moderate temperature, reduce evaporation, and gradually feed fungi as the lower layers break down. Unlike compost, which decomposes quickly, straw creates long-lasting soil structure, increasing pore space and improving root penetration. For vegetable beds, you want to apply straw after the seedlings have gotten themselves established. Over time, you'll notice the soil underneath gets darker and looser, which is just what we're after. All right, number 3 is wood ash microdosing. Wood ash, it's often overused, but traditional farmers, well, they apply it sparingly and strategically. Ash contains potassium, calcium, and some trace minerals that honestly, compost might not always have. The real trick here is microdosing, a light dusting just once or twice a season, especially for those heavy feeders like tomatoes, onions, and root crops. You want to avoid over-application, especially if your soil is already on the alkaline side. Used wisely, ash can boost your nutrient balance without the need for synthetic fertilizers. Animal bedding composting in place, that's the trick here. Instead of hauling manure to a compost pile, used animal bedding, straw mixed with manure, is just spread directly onto fallow beds. It's a simple approach, but it really works wonders. This material, it breaks down slowly, feeding soil life over months instead of giving a quick nutrient burst. The slow release, well, it improves soil aggregation and boosts microbial diversity. For gardeners, what this means is using partially decomposed manure mixed with bedding as a winter soil cover. It's a steady, gentle way to build up your soil. Now, let's talk about the leaf layering technique. Autumn leaves, I like to think of them as a soil bank account. Instead of fully composting those leaves, you just apply layers right onto your beds and lightly cover them with soil. It's a straightforward method, but let me tell you, it pays off down the line. As leaves decompose slowly, they feed fungi and build stable humus, something compost alone often lacks. If you want soil that stays fertile for years, not just months, this method is a game changer. Number 6. Soil feeding with kitchen scraps underground. Rather than composting everything, some organic waste is buried directly in trenches between crop rows. This trench feeding method delivers nutrients exactly where roots will grow. As microbes break down the material, plants benefit from localized fertility. For best results, bury scraps at least 15 to 20 centimeters deep to avoid pests. Number 7. The power of cover crop simplicity. Instead of using complex mixes, traditional systems, they rely on simple and reliable cover crops like clover, rye, or buckwheat. These plants protect the soil, fix nitrogen, suppress weeds, and improve structure. When they're cut and just left in place, they become living compost, feeding the soil without any turning or hauling. Even a short 4 to 6 week cover crop between seasons can honestly dramatically improve soil health. Number 8. Watering for microbes, not just plants. One overlooked principle is deep, infrequent watering. This encourages roots to grow downward and, at the same time, keeps microbial communities active deeper in the soil. Frequent shallow watering, on the other hand, keeps biological activity near the surface and weakens root systems. Think of watering as feeding the soil ecosystem, not just the crop. 9. Soil firming after planting. It may sound strange, but lightly firming soil around seeds or transplants improves seed-to-soil contact and moisture retention. Loose soil dries quickly and slows germination. Gentle firming helps roots establish faster and reduces transplant shock. The result is stronger early growth without additional fertilizers. Number 10. Compost tea without fancy equipment. Instead of those complicated aeration systems, just simple compost soaking in water for about a day creates a microbial-rich solution. This liquid is applied to soil, not sprayed on leaves. The goal here is to inoculate soil biology, helping beneficial microbes colonize the root zones. Regular applications can, revive tired beds a lot faster than just using solid compost alone. Number 11. The no-dig soil philosophy. Turning soil breaks fungal networks and disrupts structure. Traditional systems, they disturb soil only when absolutely necessary. By avoiding digging, organic matter accumulates near the surface. Worms do the mixing and soil becomes naturally loose and crumbly. If your garden requires constant digging, switching to no-dig methods can dramatically improve long-term fertility. 12. Crop residue recycling. Instead of clearing beds completely, healthy plant residues are chopped and left on the soil. Roots decompose underground, creating channels for air and water. Above-ground material feeds microbes and protects the surface. This practice turns every harvest into a soil-building opportunity. 13. Seasonal mineral boosts. Natural mineral sources like crushed eggshells, rock dust, or bone meal are applied lightly once a year. Unlike compost, which mainly provides organic matter, these materials replenish trace elements that plants remove over time. Balanced minerals support stronger plant immunity and better yields. 14. Shade management for soil life. Temporary shade during extreme heat protects soil organisms from temperature stress. Even simple shade cloth or interplanting taller crops can keep soil biology active. Cooler soil means slower organic matter loss and better moisture retention. Two factors compost alone cannot control. 15. The observation habit. Perhaps the most powerful trick is constant observation. Soil color, smell, moisture, and plant vigor guide every decision. Instead of following fixed schedules, adjustments are made based on what the soil is telling you. Healthy soil smells earthy, crumbles easily, and supports steady plant growth without constant inputs. So why do these methods outgrow compost? Well, compost sure is valuable, but honestly, it's just one piece of the soil health puzzle. These old-school practices really work because they focus on a few key things: keeping the soil covered all the time, letting organic matter break down slowly, disturbing the soil as little as possible, balancing minerals, and, supporting active microbial life. When you put all these factors together, you end up building stable fertility, not just some quick, short-term nutrition. Over the years, gardens managed this way need less compost, less watering, and, well, fewer amendments overall. Bringing these ideas into your garden doesn't have to be overwhelming, You don't need to adopt everything at once. Just start with 3 changes. Rest one bed each season, mulch thicker than you think you should, and, well, keep soil covered year-round. Within one growing cycle, you'll likely notice darker soil, more earthworms, and stronger plants. That's the real goal of soil science, not just feeding plants, but building a living system that feeds itself. Final thoughts for the soil science garden. Great soil isn't built by adding more inputs. It's built by working with natural processes, slowing down, and letting biology do the heavy lifting. These old-school methods, honestly, remind us that the smartest technology in agriculture is still the soil ecosystem itself. If you found this guide helpful and want more practical, science-backed ways to grow healthier soil and stronger gardens, make sure you subscribe to the Soil Science Garden and share this with a fellow gardener. Let's keep growing smarter, one living soil at a time.